Change is one of the most difficult things that we face, but change is inevitable. One reason we don't like change is we get comfortable where we are. We get used to our friends, our job, the place we live, and even if it's not perfect, we accept it because it's familiar. And what happens, because we're not willing to change, we get stuck in what God used to do instead of moving forward into what God is about to do. Just because God's blessed you where you are doesn't mean you can just sit back and settle there. You have to stay open to what God is doing now. What worked 5 years ago may not work today. If you're going to be successful, you have to be willing to change. Every blessing is not supposed to be permanent. Every provision is not supposed to last forever. But now it's a new day and they're holding you back. If you'd make a small tweak, it'd make a major difference in your life. Stay open for change. Be willing to make adjustments in your attitude, in relationships, in your career. We should always stay open to advice, open to suggestions from friends, family members that love us and believe in us. Sometimes we can get so close to a situation we can't see the obvious. That's why you need to pay attention to who God's put in your life. You may not take every bit of advice, but there will be certain things they say that bear witness to your spirit. You know it's right for you, and it will be instrumental in you moving forward. Just a small word of advice. Are you stuck in what God used to do and is keeping you from what God is about to do? Are you still striking the rock, trying to make what happened yesterday happen today? Too often we get comfortable with temporary provision. God brought them into your life, but the season has changed. Now it's not going to be like it used to be, but that's okay. God has something new in your future. In other words, don't try to make something last forever that was never meant to last forever. Just as God opens doors, God will supernaturally close doors to push us into a new season. The same God that brings people into your life, divine connections, He will supernaturally move people out of your life. Not because they're bad, but because the season is over. They've served their purpose. On the way to your promised land, don't be surprised if God removes certain people that you were counting on. People that you thought you couldn't live without. No, the truth is, they were holding you back. They were a crutch keeping you from blossoming, and if God didn't remove them, you would be stuck living off a temporary provision. Be grateful for what they did, but recognize this is your time to shine. This is your time to step up. You don't need someone constantly encouraging you. If God moved them away, they were temporary provision. But I know people that are holding on to someone that's holding them back. Just because it was good 5 years ago doesn't mean it's still good today. We should constantly evaluate our friendships. Who's speaking into your life? Who are you depending on? Make sure they're not dragging you down, limiting you from blossoming. I've learned if you don't get rid of the wrong friends, you will never meet the right friends. Everybody is not supposed to be in our life forever. Appreciate the people that have helped you. Always honor them, but recognize when their part in your story is over. Just because something doesn't last doesn't mean you missed it. Doesn't mean you're a failure. Accept it as a part of God's plan. If somebody left your life, it wasn't an accident. Their part in your story was over.